So number 1 is Suicide Squad. And I normally absolutely despise any game that's based off a movie, but this one is a bit of an exception. It actually has decent gameplay. Essentially, think Call of Duty Zombies. You survive wave after wave of the undead, and you basically progress. You can swap between 3 different characters, all of which have different weapons and different abilities, and you get stronger and stronger and compare yourself with others on the leaderboards. And providing you have a strong enough device to run the game, it's a beautiful thing to look at. The colours are striking, the textures are surprisingly high resolution for a mobile device, and it's using a cel-shaded art style, which is normally reserved for consoles and PC games. Next up, Godfire. And this is almost a 100% rip off the God of War titles, but that's by no means a bad thing. It borrows the sort of dark tone and the epic scale of battle, and to be honest, it translates quite well to mobile. There are some scenes here and there where you do kind of notice the limitations of the system, but there's also a surprising amount of times when you don't, fighting huge bosses, grinding through a whole horde of enemies, and the frame rate keeps up at a really good rate, and the game looks visually quite impressive. There's sparks flying all over the place, flashes of light, and some really impressive looking special attacks. Even in terms of its game mechanics, it has quite a lot going for it, with a whole set of achievements, tons of things to unlock, and some pretty epic bosses to get through. So next up is a bit of an odd one. It's called Epic Citadel, and it's not quite an Android game, but I really wish it was. In fact, I can almost say for certain that these are the best graphics you've ever seen running on an Android phone. Now, this is basically more of a skeleton of the game. It doesn't have any mechanics, any objectives. All you can really do right now is walk around. But that alone is worth doing just to see how this game looks. The textures, lighting, models, you really just haven't seen anything like it. So if for some reason you're still hungry for graphics, then Unkilled might hit the spot. Unfortunately, it's yet another post-apocalyptic zombie shooter, and to be honest, there's way too many of those out there. But Unkilled manages to separate itself with a very good pace, lots of variety, but more important than anything, just great mechanics. The guns feel really powerful in the hand. Yes, they shoot automatically when you come into range, which to be honest I was a bit skeptical about to start with, but once you start playing, it feels natural and you still feel like you're fully in control. The power-ups do a great job of, well, powering you up, and maybe even a little too much sometimes. Sometimes after using them, you can pretty much just instantly clear a level. Having said that, you're going to constantly need to upgrade your guns because this game gets difficult. But of course, to counter that, there are a ton of guns to get. Game number 5 is a little bit controversial, Rayman Adventures. And this was released last year and can run on pretty much any current device with no problems whatsoever. But what makes it so great is just the artistic direction behind it. Yes, it's a 2D platformer and it's simple to run, but seriously, you will not stop being amazed. Every new locale is just breathtaking. Colors jump out the screen and smack you in the face, and it's very impressive what they managed to achieve here technically. Almost everything you see on screen is hand-drawn, and that sort of love and creativity put into the game can really be felt when you play it. As a game as well, it's on the better end of the spectrum with a lot of depth considering it's a phone game, and also the fact that it's free. So at this point you're probably thinking to yourself, where is Modern Combat 5? Well, here you go. I mean, it's not the newest game, it's not the most exciting, it's been out for a while, and we're probably win the next one, but that doesn't change the fact that Modern Combat 5, when it came out and still, is one of the best looking games you can play on your smartphone. To be blunt, most of the story on offer is pretty rubbish, but almost everything else that comes with this game is a real treat. In terms of progression, this game is gigantic. There are so many things you can do in terms of upgrades, from getting new tags to getting new nozzles and new barrels for your weapons. It's very extensive. On top of that, visually it's impressive. It could be mistaken for a last-gen console title. So guys,